Hello folks, well it's Thursday. I've got my friend Mark here, G7NDJ, so no doubt he'll go through a pile of sets and put red stickers on and green stickers and yellow stickers and that. So I've got a York 863. There's actually an Amstrad in front of it, but it's been heavily modified and it's the fake type of Amstrad, and we've got to modify that back. So I thought today, although the other one should have been in front of this, we'll do this set. I think it's just a retune and test. And the reason I'm opening it up first is it rattles. Of course, it's Mark, my friend, who thought of Scratchy Corner in the first place. What's that? A brown wire. Well, you know what? That looks absolutely immaculate on the inside. I see these have had a dot put on them. I'm not surprised. Right, let's get it powered up. Power supply is on. We normally have a little stub of a... He sent it with the original mic, he sent it with the proper power lead, but we'll do the mic when we go through on the air test. I will test it during this bit. Right, that's the power stub. Get that plugged in and connect. We did have a Midland 48XL yesterday, and it's had to go back as not repairable. It's had some modifications, and I just think it's kind of been turned from a 2009 specification to a 2014 specification, and it's got melted on the way. Dear oh dear. So that was a waste of a couple of hours. Right, we need our standard replacement mic. Where on earth has that gone? I know what, it's on a Beta 1100. I was just going to do the Cybernet meter project, just finish it off, and I didn't, did I? I started looking at that low radiogram instead. Right, let's see what we've got here. Power on. So I think we've got the dimmer activated. It's got a meter working. So we've got volume, squelch is down, RF gain to full, dimmer and mic gain. Delta tune, we'll make sure it's in the middle position. PA, normal, off, power attenuator to normal, medium. There we go, that's good stuff. So which one's PA socket? That one. Switch to PA. Which works on the mic gain on these sets. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Good. It's always a nice start. Um, 109 0638 06381 by the looks of it. I think it's the 14th today, but it really doesn't matter. out a fraction on the zoom. Okay. I'll switch picture on. Let's see what it's doing. So on channel 20, it's actually doing 4.5 watts, which isn't good. Usually, in order to do that, they've got the PA set to full, which isn't what you're supposed to be doing. It's 4.6. Anyway, I've explained that a million times before. So that's going to have to come down. So when you're tuning the PA, you're centralising the peaks, you get to this, you set it up for absolute maximum, which is usually about this kind of figure, and then you balance it. And it's actually unusual for me to see 1 over 4 watts. It's reasonably balanced, but there you go. So transmit current is 1. Oh, that's not nice. 347 amps. And on low power, it's doing 20, 40. It's doing 38 milliwatts. We'll come to the VCO frequency. Now, test gear's not been on long. I'm still on low power, yeah. It's not off frequency. Deviation. Wow, oh my goodness. How many channels is he on? Wow. I'm getting 25 kilohertz. Right. Imagine having him next door to you if you're on a Fidelity 1000. Right. Lead coming out of. Right, we'll go to the Cybernet meter. Let's hope this is somewhere near. I'll just put the frequency counter on so you can see me tuning the signal generator. I think it was 113, wasn't it? Yes. So we'll set that the same to be absolutely fair. So we're transmitting and receiving on the same frequency. So we'll pull that up when the test gear's warmed up. I could pull it up now and then do it and trim it later. Right, let's see where we are. So we're at 10 microvolts at the moment. That's not so good. Oh no, it is, it's brilliant, it's brilliant. I'm looking at the wrong end. Brilliant. Good. 1.034. Make sure I'm in the right mode. Yeah, I am. Okay, well, that's really good. It's usually as good as it gets. Squelch. Go to the attenuator. I've got squelch to full, 3, 10, 30. It's a bit wishy-washy that. It's capable of better, so it's 30 microvolts tight, and the sensitivity is 0.66. So that might get worse in order to get that better. Okay, so we'll put an S9 on the radio, just turn the volume down, see what we're getting on the meter. It's bang on the 9. Meter lamp works, switches work so far. And on transmit, it's doing that, is it? Meter's probably about right for the power it's doing. So the VCO, channel 40, I don't expect this is out, but we'll just go through it. Test point is resistor 4 far side. Should be 4 volts, and it's 3.99. Transmit 1 should be 4 volts. It's 2.1. I need to adjust that. This will stop channels dropping out at certain temperatures. That's pretty well the same now. Say 3.9 and 4. And it was 2.4 plus 4. Good. Right, see if we can. Hope these cores haven't melted. Which is something else that can happen. Right, here goes. Let's go into normal big meter mode. And let's get this, make sure we're on channel 20. And here goes. So that's correct. That's as near as, damn it. That's centralised. Now we get onto these. So we need to maximise these. I don't think we're going to be getting any more. No, that was absolute full, which it shouldn't be. That was absolute full, which it shouldn't be. Well, that one should be, correction. And that was at absolute full, which it shouldn't be. So the yellow one we need to turn anti-clockwise to 4.4. We're doing just over 4.5. So that's us at 4.4. And then we drop this to 4 clockwise. So it's like being left in service mode. But luckily, it hasn't been talked on a lot. Spot on 4. Spot on 4. So it hasn't kind of melted it, which I have seen. Right, what are we looking for? Transmit current. And low power. I suspect that preset's dirty, which often are. So we'll waggle that one about. Switch to low power when I can find it. So now on the other scale, it's actually a faulty preset, so we need to change that. Yeah, that's no good at all. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to look at this transmitted audio. I'll take a break and do that at the same time. So I'm just going on the test set behind, just in case my Marconi test set is lying. I don't think this even reads 25. Yeah, it does. I've got it in. I've got it in its 30 maximum mode. So I'm sorry I haven't got a camera on this. It will be fun to look at. Oh, it's beyond the. It's beyond the 30. I didn't even know they were capable of doing that. So we want this one to the central position, which, you know what, it more or less was. That's at absolute full, you know, you think, wow, what's that about? Wallow, wallow. That's it. So that's now absolute peak of 2.5. So just see what the Marconi test set says, whether it agrees. Too, I will carry on, but we'll do that preset. We'll do that preset later. Here we go. 1, 2, wallow, wallow, wallow. So my Marconi test set isn't playing ball today. It says we're doing 3.8. Well, we're not doing 2.5, but it was still hitting the 30. So it was. We'll put down 25 kilohertz, which is ridiculous. So it's now 2.2 with a peak of 2.5 kilohertz. Let's check where the frequency is with us, whether that's changed. I'll set it at this point, whatever it's doing. It's gone up a little bit. So just get that onto frequency. I'll leave it there, it'll creep up and I'll write it down at the end. Right, so over to the signal generator, which will now set to the correct frequency, 2779.125. And with 100 microvolts on the signal generator, let's have a look what it shows on the oscilloscope. Very, very slightly out. Now we'll go over to the cyanide meter. So I'm not expecting any change here. In fact, because the detector was out, it's probably going to be worse. So we want about 4 dB on the cyanide meter, so we're not saturating it. Spot on. Spot on. Spot on. Bigger signal for the IF. Tiny adjustment. No adjustment. That's it. See what we've now got. So let's go over to the attenuator so you can see where we are. Well, I'm at 0.21. I didn't expect that. We're a bit lower than 0.2, but we're between ranges and the overlap isn't great. So I'll put 0.2. And for 20, 0.38. No, it's not. No, it's 0.35. So there's, you know, we're just dancing around there. No change to receive in effect. Squelch threshold, we need to... Oh, let's do the meter. It was spot on, but it might have altered. It's still spot on. I never did the transmit meter again, did I? Let's just do that. We're on low power. That actually needs to come up a fraction. Right, squelch. So squelch to full. It's not far out. Where's the squelch preset? It's under the wiring. That's it. So that's now 100 microvolts. And let's see where the sensitivity is now. 0.95 on the squelch. Good. So we're done apart from the low power problem. So I'll just take the lids off, ready to change that preset. I haven't the heart to take him up to the next service level, so I think we'll just charge him a token £3 for that. Got the lid. Nice condition. So it's not got huge hours on it, has it? It's when you consider it's 41 years old, something like that. Let's cut the power. I could take it across to the chapel where our desolderer station is, but there's only 2 connections. So I think I'm going to give this the worst set deviation I've ever seen on any set. I don't think I've seen above 15 before. And it's such a shame when it's such a nice set. Well, it didn't take much falling apart, did it? Right, so we're back on this. I've done the preset, and we will just show you inside the mic he sent with it. I thought it was the original because it was a copy mic, but it's a standard replacement mic which it's come with, and I think these are currently being sold. And it's nice to see that it has a screened lead on it, because there's so many mics out there which don't have screened leads, and you might get away with it with a set like this, but you're not going to get away with it with some of the cheaper and nastier sets, and you're going to end up with a lot of hums we've demonstrated plenty of times in the past. So I will just check this works, and then we won't hear from this again until we do the on the air test, and I'll introduce it at the end of the test just as a demonstration. So I'll put that on one side. Right, power it back up, and we'll just do this low power. So make sure the test set is showing on its main meter, and we'll go to low power and hopefully set it for 0.4 of a watt. There we go, spot on 0.4 of a watt. Back to full power, and when I hit the button, and there we are doing a good 4 watts. And just want to check it's still on frequency, because it's now 2 hours later. It's gone a bit too high, you see. Leave it at that, and Bob's your uncle, we're done. That's worked out a really nice set. The receive on this was absolutely super duper, and although I've danced around with it to get the best, we've actually had no change on that. The big thing was the deviation was stupidly too high, and it must have sounded absolutely dreadful on 3 channels at once. It's not a volume control. Once you hit the correct deviation, the filters on whoever you're talking to, if they've got a decent filtering, it's just going to chop. Sound dreadful. But we've demonstrated all that as well. One thing we are going to demonstrate, it's been asked for, we do a double on the air test, a bit like we did with the Audio Line 341s, but with a before and after. So we're doing on the air test of a set as it's come. So I'd check it was legal and safe, but other than that, with no adjustment, doing on the air test, and then after the service work, see if any difference can be actually noticed, or whether it's just a difference on the test gear. But I wouldn't have been able to put this on the air. That's why I just would have to check through something. Not as this was. Right, so I'll turn the test gear off. This is one of the most sensitive York 863s I've come across. And we need to find the aerial now. Usual Antron 99. Single story building, just mounted above gutter level. Nothing special. One Niner Roger.
Squadron leader receiving, over.
19 a Roger.
Squadron leader receiving, over.
Squadron leader, are you receiving? I don't think he's talking to me. I think we'll go straight to Mega Chippy channel. Put the squelch on. So just before we do that, I'm just going to put my little walkie-talkie on and just put the customer's mic in. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. That's fine. He sent a power lead, but it's terminated in a cigarette lighter plug, and so I'm not geared up for cigarette lighter plugs on here. So there we have it. We'll do an on-the-air test pretty shortly, and that's a lovely set. So, thanks for watching. York 863 Cybernet 134 set from 1981.